Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. This is my review for episode 3 of The Curse. So if you've watched my previous reviews of the show, you'll know that I've been really enjoying the previous 2 episodes. The word I would use to describe the show is uncomfortable, and that is certainly dialed up to 11 this episode. I mean, just the stuff that happens is it's like gross to watch, you know? Like it's to the point where it's not enjoyable to watch, and it's just like just makes me so uncomfortable. You know, it's just, it's enjoyable. I don't get me wrong, I'm really liking it. Obviously, the craftsmanship and writing and dialogue is so great that it makes me feel that way. But it's to the point where it's just so uncomfortable to watch. I mean, these situations are just gross. And Nathan Fielder's character is just such a fucking, like, a red flag. Like, Asher, I don't know. Honestly don't know how to describe it. That he's just such a red flag and he's so unpleasant to watch. And every interaction he has, it just makes me feel sick. And yeah, it's just gross. But anyway, the episode opens up with a pretty uncomfortable scene of, well, it's not the very beginning, but it's right there in the beginning of Asher and Whitney watching a focus group testing of the show. And, the reality show they're doing. And most of it is positive towards Whitney, but everybody seems to fucking hate Asher, and I completely agree with everything they say. No humor, extremely weird, he's just there. And again, Nathan Fielder is doing a terrific job in making me feel that uncomfortable with his character. But yeah, watching that focus group whole scene was just so uncomfortable because we had Dougie there trying to like order some food, making the whole thing just so fucking uncomfortable to watch. I mean, and Whitney clearly doesn't like Asher. I mean, come on, it's such a strange relationship. Like, every time he says something or makes a joke, she's like, oh, yeah. And you see her like turn her face away in disgust, pretty much. So I really am wondering what's like bubbling below the surface. If like, I don't know, I got no clue. Maybe they're like already filed for divorce and like just need to get this show done. I got no clue in order to pay for it. I have no idea. That's just a theory. But yeah, that was so uncomfortable watching Dougie be like, oh, this has still got 15 minutes left. Should I order food? They got new chicken wings I want to try. It's like, ew, what are you doing? That's so uncomfortable. But yeah, Benny Safdie, who plays Dougie, is like, I think he's the creator of the show. Him and Nathan Fielder created it. God, it's so uncomfortable. It really is. But also in this episode, we see the return of the little girls from the first episode who cursed Asher, basically, which is, the namesake of the show. But that's because in the beginning of the show, the very beginning, I think the opening scene, it's Asher bidding for this little property that they want to buy. And turns out that property belongs to those little girls and their father. And that whole scene where they come into the house, where he sort of drills into the door to open it, and then it's him, and they're terrified of him because of what happened in the parking lot, and he chases them. It's just like, what are you doing? He makes every wrong choice, and he's just like, such a gross person, man. He really is. But yeah, so that happened, and then they eventually come over to introduce themselves. Whitney and Asher do, and Whitney's fine. There's a little bit of awkward moments with the dad where they're talking about hot dogs. She's like, oh, do you make them with rice? And he's like, no, just buns. And but she seems to be okay with the girls, but then he is just so fucking awkward. And they're talking a little bit more about the curse, how she did a tiny curse, which is a TikTok trend, which I thought was kind of like a funny way of like explaining how this little girl would just curse someone, like it's a TikTok trend. But the tiny curse was that they would take chicken out of his dinner, and later that night there was no chicken in his dinner. So he's gonna start to think it's real, which obviously it's at this point it's not. It's just his paranoia. But yeah, so he believes that the curse is real now, I guess. But that was still a very uncomfortable scene in that house. Just every word of dialogue is uncomfortable. Like every pause, every sigh, every breath is just done in such an uncomfortable way. But yeah, so there's that. And also, probably my least favorite scene of the whole show, and by least favorite I mean my favorite, because of just like, it's such a weird relationship I have with this show. Like, I hate it, but I love it because it's just so uncomfortable. But the scene where they're taking the sweater off Whitney, where he's taking the sweater off her, and it's just so fucking uncomfortable, even when they're not pretending to do it and they're doing it for real. I'm like, what are you doing? And it's the whole relationship does seem so fake. Like, in between them, it feels like they're both faking it, or at least Whitney is. She is faking it, and then once she realizes, oh, this was a funny moment, she wants to film it for their Instagram. Which is, by the way, she must have a terrible PR sense if she thinks that that's a great way to get people to like them. Hi, me and Asher are just trying to take my sweater off, and it's so hard. Oh my god, like, she needs some media training. But yeah, so that was very uncomfortable. That obviously leads to a fight, in which is just, you know, can we please just get to the point where she leaves him? I mean, he's just such a gross. I feel terrible saying this because it makes it seem like I don't like Nathan Fielder. I fucking love Nathan Fielder. He's doing such a great job. But that scene, when they're like, when she's getting the shot in for the baby, which like wasn't growing properly or something, to make it stop growing because it wasn't fully like developed or something, and he says to her, "I think I know more than you about your body," and it's like, ew, like what is wrong with you? And even the doctor, like when the doctor's, oh yeah, he was asking the doctor disgusting questions. I've got to mention this when he was like, "Oh, is it okay if we do oral sex? Like finger penetration okay?" I was like, "What the fuck? What am I watching?" And the doctor was like, okay, like yeah, I guess. It just, and you can tell she's like visibly disgusted with him. It's just, God, I really, really, really hate this show. I'm sorry, I love it, but I fucking hate it. It's just so many disgusting things. But I do think this is all going to build up to something pretty insane happening toward the end. Like their relationship will unravel. And when I say insane, I don't mean like a mass murder or anything. I mean like their relationship will unravel. Someone will hit rock bottom. Something will happen. I don't know. Maybe the house will blow up. The passive home. I'm not sure. But anyway, overall, I am enjoying the show. I think it's just so fucking strange. And the way it's filmed, it's sort of filmed like a reality show. It's not filmed like a typical TV series. But anyway, I enjoyed episode 3 for what it was supposed to do, which is make me uncomfortable, which it did. So yeah, this was a good episode of television, which made me deeply, deeply uncomfortable. But anyway, that's it for my review of episode 3 of The Curse. It's streaming now on Showtime or Paramount Plus if you're here in Australia. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Are you watching this show? Are you going to watch it? Are you enjoying it? Is it making you as uncomfortable as it making me? Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.